are my pathways, and we will explain to you in detail. But it will clearly help us to understand what is our pathway. Now get your guns out. The ways I can easily focus on Jesus are my pathways. The ways I can easily focus on Jesus are my pathways. The ways I can easily focus on Jesus are my pathways. The ways I can easily focus on Jesus are my pathways. Number 14. Use your pathways to get quickly reconnected to God, not to be a slave of the devil. Use your pathways to get quickly reconnected to God, not to be a slave of the devil. Use your pathways to get quickly reconnected to God, not to be a slave of the devil. Let's do it, number 14 again. This is very important. If you do not do this, then whatever we're going to learn tonight is useless. Use my pathways. Let's say use my pathways, I'm sorry. Use my pathways to get quickly reconnected to God, not to be a slave of the devil. Use my pathways to get quickly reconnected to God, not to be a slave of the devil. Use my pathways to get quickly reconnected to God, not to be a slave of the devil. Now we will come back and we will go through tonight. Tonight I want you to look at many different angles and many different ways to apply in our lives. Not only yourself, with your spouse, your employees, your partners, and even your mentees. There are so many different applications. But first, I want you to look at your note. There's a number 1 to 49, and now look at the screen. It does not show on the screen. Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Any number, I want you to understand clearly, then quickly decide what points you're going to give. Number 3 is consistently, definitely true of you, me, then 3. Often, usually is 2. Once in a while is 1. Never is 0. Okay? Answer that question on every. I mean, it's important that you answer honestly, because it helps you not only your strength, but we'll talk about your weaknesses. And unless you really know about your weaknesses and unless you strengthen it, you cannot mature. So, answer. And if you have taken this test ever before, do it again, honestly, freshly. And just put the numbers in each square, which is number which represents the question of number. Okay, we will go over that. So get this page and get ready to fill out. All you need to do is your number. I will show you question number 1, and regarding you just put your number with a 3, 2, 1, or 0, then move on. Okay, here we go. Number 1. You read it clearly. I'm not going to read it. Two. If it is too fast, then slow me down. But or if you do not understand the meaning, then raise your hand. Again, if you do all the time 3, you do often 2, once in a while is 1, never is 0. So be honest. Nobody's going to look at the sheet. 3. Here in American words, I mean English words, worship is a worship, the singing, worship, not the whole service. Worship is singing part, the praising part. Okay? I want you to put the number down, then look at the screen so I can move on. If you keep your heads down, then I don't know whether you have done it or not. Amanda?
네?
Did you understand what I say? Did you just put the scores for yourself, number 1 to 3?
Yeah.
Then look at the screen.
But I'm writing it next to it.
No, just look at the screen and answer it. Just put the number on the scorecard. Number 4.
What do you mean by challenge? Is it like hardship or what?
No, there are a lot of work.
Oh.
I mean, different types of work. Whether you have work at home, work at work, or work at church. I mean, so many things come up. Moving on, number 5. You're Edwin, right? Aaron. Aaron, sorry. Now we got it right. Correction, okay. Brendan and then. Number 6. You know, one example like in number 6, as you walk in, if the table is not straight or chair is not straight or there are papers laying around, are you distracted or not? 7. Eight. Nine. Number 9 speaks for me. But don't make it up, be honest. Everyone is different. Number 10. Read the whole sentence carefully. Do not read halfway. Then it has a totally different meaning. Number 10 is more, praising. Okay, 11. Isabel, are you done?
I'm reading number 12.
Okay. 12. Thirteen. Fourteen. 15. Don't look at the notes. Just focus on your scorecard. Focus on the screen and the scorecard. There's nothing different on your notes. Your notes are for later. Or for people like on a webinar. It's more important you focus what you do. You concentrate on what you do. Everyone that's done 15?
Yes.
Okay. 16? This should be easy, whether people ask you or not. 17? Mark it down on question 17. Just mark it. We need to rephrase it. I noticed that we have to rephrase that. It applies only the GMI type church, not the church where the praising is some churches there is no praising, hardly. 18. It's a little bit vague, but come up with an example. I mean, you come to church doing the cleaning or whatever you do. 19. You got 19? Okay. 20. Uri, are you scoring yourself?
Yeah.
Because you need to do this maybe once in a few years anyway. That's for the notes. Because you better change. If you are exactly the same, then something wrong with you. I will tell you why. 21. 22, 'Alex, raise your hand if you don't understand the question. '23, 24, 25, 'It means the tougher it gets, there are so many more things to do, you get a tougher. 25, 26. Hermit is like North Korea. They call it hermit country, North Korea. So veiled around, not associated with any other people. 27. '28. 29. 29 is the type of people go around and keep asking people, are you okay? And if they do not like to share, then they get upset. Anyway, nothing wrong with that. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 34. 35. 36. 38. 37, 38, 39, 39 means you get upset when you see people just do not care what other people get injustice. I mean, simply put it, you get frustrated when people are not sympathetic. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 'Again, here worship is just praising. 46. 47. 47 simply says if somebody speaks ill of you, you got bothered or not. If you're bothered, you're number 3. I mean, put number 3 or 2. 48. 49. 'Okay, now this is what you do. You add the numbers on a column, like a 1, 8, 15, that's one column, and write it down total right above the A. So score it, just adding up each column only. Don't bother with the rows. There's a column A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So each column you add it up and put the number there. If somebody needs a calculator, I have one. But don't make a mistake. You want to be as accurate as possible. We make a note today from EM. Aaron Shin is here. Brandon Choi is not here. Brandon. And Edwin Hong is not here. Steve Kang is not here. If they miss more than 2 times, and third time, we automatically will regard it that they didn't take the course. We are not here to please people. We are here to change people. Okay, you add the numbers. You circle what is B or C with the top 3. Try to look at it, which ones has a highest score? Isabel, tell me, what's...
The 3 highest?
Yeah,
I have 19 on D, I have
okay,
an 18 on C, and I have a 13 on F.
okay, you can stop there, right. D, C, F, okay. Oscar?
Worship, activist, and serving, C, D, and F.
No, tell me the scores.
Oh, it's 17, 18, and 20.
No, I don't know what is 17, 18, 20.
17 is C,
Yes,
18 is D,
yeah.
and 20 is F.
Okay, you are very similar to Isabel. Tina?
Yeah. But
I make a mistake, so I cannot count it.
Okay, recount it. You need a calculator?
No. I just put down yes, no.
No, it's supposed to be number either 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah. I didn't put the number like that. So I have to redo again.
Okay, why don't you redo it again? Because if you don't do it yourself, tonight whole class will be meaningless to you. It's very important. You look at the questions and go back, and there are other sheets. There are same chart. You put the numbers there. Again, 3 is every time, 2 is often, 1 is once in a while, 0 is never. Aaron?
I got serving as my highest with a score of 19.
19.
I got contemplative second highest with a score of 14.
Which one?
14 contemplative.
Oh, okay.
And activist for my third highest with a score of 13.
Wow, that's a strange combination. The contemplative and activist hardly mix together. Well, you never know. Amanda, show me your scores.
I got 1 activist, 16, 2 serving, 15, 3 worship, 12.
you have a snacks? No? Okay. While Tina is finishing a scorecard, you can continue, because you got to finish it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will not know what you have to listen tonight. And Isabel, if you can help? Okay. Tonight we will cover two aspects. Number one, the biggest one is let me ask you a question. How does a company bankrupt?
Cash.
No, don't be fancy. Just ran out of cash. Don't be vague. The fifth grader does not understand cash flow. Just say when you run out of cash. Why you run out of cash? Why you make a bad?
More negative. We make a mistake.
Now you can say you make a decision without God. You make a decision when you're disconnected from God. Whatever it is, whether it's anger or lonesome or whatever. I mean, some people make a decision about spouse, other reasons, chasing after the visa and lonesome, then they regret the rest of their life. It's their freedom. They do not know how to use their freedom. I've seen people in the East Coast says, do not get married to the non-believers. This family with the 6 daughters, I forgot second or third one. She just married to a man who were non-believers. Then her husband literally beats her every Sunday not to go to church. Now she cries. It's her decision. She used her freedom to her own stubbornness without God. Same thing with the business. When you make a decision without God, you know that's devil is winning. The devil's purpose, in John chapter 10, verse 10, the devil comes to steal, destroy, and kill. So it's very important that whenever we are disconnected from God, you should really alarm and really wake up wherever it is. You all of a sudden you got so scared and trembling and says, get back to God again. Whatever cost, if you have to repent, you have to repent quickly and come back to God. Because if you don't, it's your future, it's your life. God never says, you make a bad decision, but I will take care of you. He never said that. So that if you obey willingly, then you will eat the good of the land. Isaiah chapter 119. So being connected, and especially we often disconnected. Yesterday I shared at the KPM, every Bible hero, Elijah, David, even Moses, I don't care who they were, they all failed on their strength. Elijah was so powerful against 800, idol worshippers. He killed them. But then Queen Isabel threatened him that I'm going to kill you in 24 hours. He was so timid and scared, and he ran away. He thought he was a brave man. He was not. King David was really a faithful person, but he killed his general to steal his wife. Moses was known to be so meek. He was gentle. But he failed that he got angry. Anyway, after all that books and preachings in many different countries about Thanksgiving, man, I got upset yesterday. I was driving on the Commonwealth and somebody with a truck and even U-Haul just came out from his parking lot and came right in front of me. Man. Then after that happens, I immediately start repenting. I said, well, wait a minute. I get disconnected and I'm not going to read the whole day. Besides, I get very unhappy when I'm disconnected. I know I do not have a peace. So I quickly repent and bless the guys whom I literally cursed in a short time and get back to God. We have to know how to reconnect to God. That's one of the key things tonight. But let me tell you, before I move on, Aaron, open up your speaker and tell me your scores. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, contemplative was 20 and Okay, thank you. So, I want you to know what are your pathways. So you should not be bashful to use your pathways quickly to reconnect. But the problem is there. Often you cannot use 7 pathways. I mean, you are stuck at work, and you are nature style. You cannot go to nature. You cannot quit company and run out. You are at work, and even you are in the meeting. What are you going to do? So there's the one challenge. But least you should know your pathways and try to use it. And the challenge is to quickly reconnect to God, no matter what happens. That's number one. And what was the gun number 13? No matter what happens, and somebody cursed you or you lost $1 million, $1 billion, I don't care. Whatever the disaster happens, regardless, whether is there ways you can quickly focus on Jesus. You can forget everything else, and can you focus on Jesus? That's your pathways. So let's repeat the gun number 13.
The ways I easily focus on Jesus are my pathways. The ways I easily focus on Jesus are my pathways. The ways I easily focus on Jesus are my pathways.
I mean, of course, you're contemplative, then least within 10 hours or whatever you have to work, then you can go to solitude and have your own quiet time and solitude, and you can quickly reconnect if you're contemplative. Anyway, but let me introduce one more, the devil's strategy. The devil's strategy number 1 is what? Lie. Number 2? Misunderstanding, and this disagreement among the people and the misunderstanding among the people. And number 3? Confusion. Number 4?
Fear.
Fear. if you have to look up the note, then you're halfway to the prey of the devil. I mean, when devil start attacking you, you're not going to look up the notebook. It's just, I think there is a notebook. Well, I left it at home, and now you're on a plane to the mission site. What are you going to do? Number 5 is the arrogance.
What is that?
Arrogance. I just explained to you that every hero in the Bible, they failed on their strength. ¿Por qué? Why do you think they failed? They become arrogant. On their strength, on their own field of strength, they get arrogant. They get relaxed. They thought they could fight it out without God. Now, I'm warning you, every pathway, there's defects. I want you to know what are your pathways, but for each pathway, the devil is working on you to have a different, depending on the pathways, have different ways to make you arrogant. So often people neglect their defects. They say, well, I'm this way. No, you're not supposed to be that way. You only took the good part, but there is a bad part. Because we are not perfect. Because the devil keeps working on it on each pathway. Let me say that again. It's like a coin. Every coin has 2 sides. You use the pathway to get reconnected to God, which is wonderful. But once with a particular that pathway, they have a particular type of defects, and you got to know what the defects are. Tonight. Hello. Tina is done?
Yes.
Wonderful. Show me, what's your top score?
B.
What-
B like boy.
Intellectual. What's the score?
18.
18? And what about the second one?
17 C.
C.
Worship.
Okay. Third one?
D
D.
and F.
What are the scores?
16.
60.
Man, you're coming close to Jesus. Jesus can use every pathway. But at the same time, Tina, you did not hear that. Along every pathway you have, there lies your pitfalls. There lies your defects of your character is hidden. And we need to know, we need to compensate that, we need to make sure that does not hurt us. That, devil should not use that pathway to come to get me. I'm not sure I'm making sense. But once we get into the example, it'll be clear. Let me say that again, conceptually. There's a pathway that you get so close easily to God. But often you relax and you think that's all. But along the same pathway, in the shadow, devil is grabbing you. And you have to know what they are. For each strong pathway you have, you have to know what is your weakness along with that your pathways. And unless you really block that shadow part, devil will come get you. Hello? Do you understand? It's very important. The same thing I have seen again and again. When you help other people to grow, same thing happens. I mean, there's nothing, you don't say one pathway is superior than the other one. There's nothing like that. Every pathway is good part and bad part. Good part is you get connected to God. But the minute you lose and you relax, even on the same pathway, you become slave of devil. Okay, I'm not sure making clear, but let's take a break and come back. Oh,
Just
question.
real quick, just the same way that there are 7 paths right there in front of us that take us to the devil, and then I'm learning, you know, these 5 points that you have give us about the ways that the devil uses to grab you from following the path that you want to get. Are 7 ways also to take us away from those 7 paths?
Each pathway, devil has a different
Paths
technique.
is, okay.
We will go over that. That's the whole tonight. We will go over that.
Thank you.
And it's not only for you, for your spouse, but your partner, and your people you're going to help to grow. Okay, let's come back after break.